In how the outside backs match up here tonight. We're about to get underway then. We're here at the One Ball. Round 3 of the Betfred Super League sees Castleford take on the Huddersfield Giants, who will get that first win of the campaign.
How you doing? You okay? Nice cold night tonight, isn't it? Enjoy tonight, mate. Thank you. You too.
Referee tonight. Match ball being delivered by two greats here at Castleford.
What's your name?
Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
It has been a tough start injury-wise for both campaigns, but Jody, you can't use that as an excuse. It's a squad game, we know it. I know there's this next one up mentality. They've just got to get on with it, haven't they?
Yeah, and look, Luke Robinson's is more than capable now of dealing with those injuries. He had all those injury troubles last year. He started the 26 season as he ended 25 with lots of injuries to contend with early on, but strength in depth is going to be important, and a lot of people getting debuts last year that will put them in good stead for this year, Mark.
Here is Ravalawa then. He's going to be wrapped up by the Giants. Important they keep a lid on him. There's the ball working its way out of the Castleford ends. Match number 34 already of the live rugby league action on Sky, and plenty more to come, including that bumper game in Las Vegas on Saturday night. Here is Westerman. He'll carry it forward. Tackled on the 40. Ball works its way across to Dejanasi, who slips over the halfway line. That was a little bit too easy. Huddersfield on the 5th tackle will drop back for the kick. It's a high kick over on the far side. Flanagan collects it. He will look to bring it forward. What did you make of the first set for the Tigers?
Good meters made on early carries, Mark, and that's going to be important. We've seen how quick the rucks have been in the start of this season, particularly first up contact, important to stop the meters made, stop the forwards in particular landing on the front. That's what's getting the quick rucks that we've seen so far. So Castleford, good opening set, nice kick, and George Flanagan getting his hands on the ball early, which Huddersfield will be pleased with.
Yeah, Fenton Rogers, the latest ball carrier. Here now is Russell, just going to stab the kick over the top, looking to turn Castleford around. It'll bobble its way into touch. And that is the first set for the Huddersfield Giants. So both have had an early touch. And Huddersfield, I think, will be pretty pleased with their first ball set in hand. Yeah,
look, I was really impressed, Mark, with Castleford's defence in that opening round against Wigan. We saw how devastating they can be with the ball last night, particularly. Leave all sorts of trouble dealing with that Wigan attack, and I thought Castleford did really well. If they can find that level of resilience in the defence tonight, it's going to be a really tough ask for Huddersfield to score too many points.
Well, here's the way that Castleford has started. Mapapalangi with a big run. That was followed up by Liam Hood, and Castleford already over the halfway line. Here now the ball from Weaver is dropped back underneath for Jordan Lane. And the tackle going to be made. 10 inside the Huddersfield half. Hood short side play to Weaver. Finds the ball back on the inside here for McIntosh. He gets it away to Zaxini. Ball out wide is put down. And a chance. Lollahea couldn't collect it. And they'll come back for the first knock on. But just as Castleford were looking threatening, a lack of skill lets them down.
Yeah, just disappointing there. Forced an extra pass. I think they could have been a little bit more patient. They had a tackle in the bag there to play with, Castleford, and just bit of a hospital pass there from Cini. Just means that there's an error there, and they're giving up field position now to Huddersfield on the 40-metre line, already in that transition area of the field, the middle area of the field where they'll be looking to play. They'll be happy with that defensive set, Huddersfield.
Head in.
Yeah, they will be.
Ball into it.
A chance for the Giants then. They'll start near halfway. There's a problem with the clock. We'll get that rectified as soon as we can. Opening exchanges here at the One Ball. Both sides looking for a first victory. Zach Wolford waits at dummy half. He'll get the ball away. That's a nice carry forward inside Castleford territory. Need a few more like that. Oh, they need a few less like that. And that was Patolo who knocks it on. And he'll be disappointed. I know it's tough conditions, but got to be better than that with ball in hand.
Yeah, just trying to get that quick play of the ball, but not quite having control of the ball as he went to play it there, Patoli. You can see him fighting to get up and have that quick play of the ball, but just a little bobble there on the floor, and it gives up possession to Castleford when they had a really great platform to play off there, Mark.
Yeah, they did indeed. I was speaking to some of the Huddersfield coaching staff before the game, and they were saying they nearly got Wakefield last week, but they give themselves too much to do with their start, and that's something they're keen to improve on.
10 seconds. Shot clock off, heading
He's scoreless here. Referee will pack the scrum. 30 out from the Tigers line. Weaver will turn it back inside. Good aggressive defence on for Tony, who made the short move from Wakefield in the off-season, as did Hood. Gets it away. They're moving it through the hands. Senior looking to get it wide. Mapapalangi over the halfway line. He's tackled. Huddersfield slid across nicely and dealt with it. Ball down the short side here. Castleford trying to steal some easy meters, and they're inside the 30 now. Quick play of the ball. Senior finds Westerman. Westerman dummies. Goes and is tackled eventually. 15 out. This is better from Castleford, looking for the first points. Dejanazi rolls the kick, knocked down by Huddersfield. Well, they had to get a hand on it, Lollahea there, and that hand might have saved a try.
Yeah, look, they really like this left edge, Castleford. You saw them just try and take the short sides, didn't quite come off for him early on, and then they go back to that left edge with a little kick through from Arzi there. Tui Lollahea. Not quite a clean pick-up, so it means Castleford will get another go at this Huddersfield defensive line, but showing early on where they're looking to play at, Mark, on that left edge.
Yeah, there's Luke Robinson looking on, pitch side.
10 seconds, shot clock off.
Hoping that this injury curse that the Giants are under will go away soon, but they've got some defending to do here. Ball charged in. Darnell McIntosh would love a try against his former club. 99 appearances for the Giants. That's a good strong carry, almost over the line there. In the end, it's a last-ditch tackle from Powell. Castleford on the line, and Hood's going to dive in, exactly like he did against Wigan in round one. Huddersfield switch off, and Hood pounces. Castleford lead. It's the softest of tries, but they all count. Castleford 4, Huddersfield 0.
Well, really disappointing from a defensive side of things for Huddersfield. They're marked too easy for Liam Hood. I mentioned him in the build-up to the game and how great of a player he is in terms of working them around the field, but what an opportunistic hooker he is as well, in terms of when he gets a chance at the line, his vision is outstanding, and he moves the forwards around brilliantly well there. Joe Stimpson getting them just a metre off the line and just a little bit too wide defensively there, gives the opportunity for Liam Hood to dive over for first points for Castleford. They'll be really happy with that. Come from that initial error to Lollahea, not quite dealing with the grubber kick that came through. Set them up for great field position, and then it's Liam Hood. Doesn't even look, Mark. He'd scanned early on, and he just sees in his peripheral vision the opportunity there and dives over for a great first try for Liam Hood.
Yeah. Chris Chester moved to bring in Hood. And here's Tom Weaver, who should have a pretty straightforward task of adding the extras here. And this for a 6-0 lead, and a pretty poor start from the Giants. And Weaver slots it through the middle, and Castleford do lead by 6-0. Much to the delight of the home fans. They were beaten here by Wigan in round one. They lost to Toulouse last week. But this is a good start. Can they now build on it?
Yeah, look, again, it's just Liam Hood using his middles, laying the platform. Great carry, which just leaves defensive players on the floor. George Flanagan not quite getting to where he needs to be quick enough, and that opportunity on the right edge there for Liam Hood to put points on the board. Castleford will be really happy with the start they've made so far. Yeah, they will indeed. Can Huddersfield now force an error?
Hold. Go on.
Cass bringing it out of their own end of the field. Dejanazi moves it along. Ball carried forward just outside the 10.
Go to.
Ball now in the hands of Westerman. 20th season, 19th in Super League. Some record for him. Ball now in the hands of Stimson.
Go for.
To get to his feet. Here now is a Tony, carries outside his 40, looking to get to halfway. Last one then. And now they're looking with Weaver to get the kick high downfield. Flanagan waits underneath. Had to backpedal last minute, but gets his hands on it. But look at that wall. The black and amber of the Tigers all over him. Good set from Castleford on the back of points.
Yeah, too much time on the ball there for Weaver to just place the kick where he wants to put George Flanagan under pressure. Great line speed, kick chase from Castleford there to put him under pressure, take time away. And I think for me, Renu Atane has been brilliant at the start of this season. The amount of times he gets stood up in tackles, which means it speeds that play the ball up even more. That's what gave Weaver time on the ball, and it's not going to be what they want here, Matt. Giving away a penalty. Huddersfield struggling to get out of their own half, but penalties like that's going to piggyback them downfield and just give him a sniff at this Castleford line.
Yeah, you know, it's not the biggest pitch in the world, so it's an easy out, isn't it, for Huddersfield? Approaching 10 minutes. There is Ryan Carr, the new Castleford coach, looking on from his vantage point. Apologies again for the clock. We're around about 10 minutes in here. We'll get that rectified as soon as we can. As the ball with the Giants then. Their first good ball set. What can they do with it here? They're going to keep it close to the ruck area. Patolo turned it over earlier on, is wrapped up. He'll play the ball now into the hands of Russell. Turns it back, looking to get it away. Now Wolford will move it on. Lollahare, not sure who's expecting. It's all a little bit stagnant from Huddersfield at the moment. A little bit stop-start. Players stood still. Can they get some fluency into their attack? Here's Wolford now. Gets the ball away to Rogers. He'll go route one up the middle. Big shot goes in on Rogers. He falls to the ground, 9 out. But Huddersfield knocking on the door for the first time tonight. Wolford finds Lollahare. A juggle and a drop. And it's another unforced error, and too many of these creeping in for the Giants early stages.
Yeah, you said it, Mark. It's just disjointed in attack. It doesn't quite look like they really know what the roles are or where they should be going. Not sure he expected the ball there, and just an error, an easy gift for Castleford to just pressure relieve. They've gotten themselves into some good field position, and then straight away pressures off with an error there close to the line.
Yeah, Asher O'Donnell it was. Got a cup try against Hunslet. Dropped the ball there inside the 10. So Castleford's defence holds out, and now the Tigers get it back. And they look to work their way forward.
Hold. Go.
Now Huddersfield offside, and just too many routine errors. So you can call injuries as much as you want, but you've got to have a bit of discipline when you pull on the Super League shirt. And at the moment, Huddersfield are not showing any of it.
Yeah, look, line speed is important. With the speed of these rucks, it is important, but can't afford to give away cheap penalties like that, Mark. It's going to be a long day, a long night for Huddersfield if they're giving Castleford that much field position and repeat sets to go up their line.
Well, let's find out what Castleford have got. They scored last time they were down this end. Weaver drops it off, and Tony almost breaks through. Again, falls on his knees, so it's a quick play of the ball. Hood will get it away. Dejanasi finds Joe Westerman. Westerman will carry forward. He's wrapped up and turned away, 10 out. Worrying times for the Giants. Dropping the ball and ill-discipline costing them at the moment. Are Castleford going to make them pay? Here's Zach Sini. Sini with the footwork, gets past one. Inside the 5 he goes. And he'll fall to the ground. Hood a little bit too far out to pinch one from there. He'll find Dejanazi. He gets it away, and crashing onto the ball come Castleford. Last one. They've got numbers either side of the ruck. They're coming right. They'll go to Weaver, rolls in the kick, looks strong. It's picked up on the full, and well dealt with at the back there by Tanguy Zenon, who wasn't tackled, and he was a relieved man. There were black and amber shirts all around him, but the Giants man comes up with the ball.
Yeah, Castleford attacking players flooding forward there. It's a great pick-up by Zenon just to clean things up for Huddersfield, and they've got some work to do now to get out their own half, but it's looking like they want to move the ball around, test them on edges.
Oh, they've lost it. They've lost it, though. It looked good, and then the tackle comes in, and Huddersfield have lost it. And they are, at the moment, their own worst enemies.
So Castleford are doing well to get in, shouldering the tackle, limit the meters being made by the middles. So Huddersfield looking to work the ball around the edges with their outside back. Sam Halsall there just can't quite keep hold of the ball with the pressure and attention he's getting in that tackle. And another coach killer, that one, giving away again, possession to Castleford in a great attacking position.
Yeah.
On the 10 seconds.
You've got to feel a degree of sympathy for Luke Robinson. Certainly his team talk doesn't involve dropping the ball in your own half. But Huddersfield are guilty of doing that at the moment. Ball goes forward here with Jordan Lane, one of many new recruits that Castleford have made in the off-season. Set restart. So they get another set from here. Big shot went in there. It's carried forward.
Go on, that's you staggering forward.
All played now into the hands of a Tony. Here now is Dejan Arzi, and he's fired it into his own man, and they've both got the dropsies.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, it was a tough one to take that mark. I'm not sure anybody would want the ball firing at him at that pace coming onto the line.
Is that a miscommunication, or was that the going to the wrong man? Was he the dummy runner, or?
Potentially, yes, Mark. And it's always hard when you're trying to run those lines, particularly tight. It can be a little bit deceptive for your own team, whether it's your ball or whether it's supposed to be going behind you. A little bit of miscommunication there, but Castleford probably earned the right.
Well, here they go up the middle. That's a good run from Tristan Powell. And now a quick play, the ball for Wolford. He finds Lollahea, always dangerous with room to run. He gets it away, and on the outside, Halsall almost sneaked away down the touchline. Last one, Lollahea wants it. Had to wait for the looping pass. Sends it high into the night sky. Seen it coming forward. Ball batted back. It's still the last tackle here. Again is Lollahea looking to get to an edge, looking to play, moves it wide, gets the ball away, they keep it alive. It's still the last one. Lollahea trying to two-step to get away from McIntosh, and McIntosh, in fairness, held onto his man. Good defence from the Tigers, scrambled for their lives.
Yeah, that was scramble time, Mark. They did incredibly well there, Cass. Tui Lollahea just drifting across the line and testing themselves, and it's Joe Westerman, I think, who flies out the line to make contact there, misses his contact, and just one quick ruck. You can see how that leads to a full set of chasing your tail from Castleford, just trying to get control of that play the ball area again, and first real opportunity for Huddersfield, but not quite able to convert that into points.
No. At least they got to the end of the set. That in itself is a step forward. All on halfway. Stimson gets it away. Westerman shrugs off one, but stumbled just over the halfway line. Play it now to Hood, who's off on his bike, looking for some cheap meters. He got under the tackle of Powell. Last one for Castleford. Theatrics not being bought by a referee. High kick. Weaver sends it up. Flanagan gets high. Now needs to find the ground if he can. He's trying to head off infield. He will find the ground, 5 off his line. Decent set from Castleford, and a good kick to contain the Giants, who are once again fighting their way out of their own 20-metre area.
Yeah, look, it takes it out your old defence that Huddersfield are doing, but also having to work out of your own 5-10 metres, which is what they've had to do on a couple of occasions now. It really closes up the field, and it allows Castleford's defence to tighten up, get off the line, and get that real strong contact, which they've done well so far at the start of this game, Mark.
Yeah, certainly have. Here's Wolford, gets it away. Powell will show his footwork again. He gets to the halfway line. It's the last one. That's not the best pass. That's a horrible pass for Russell. Where's the pressure from Castleford? It wasn't there. Russell's kicked across field. Gary's going to come and collect it. He'll catch it on his own 40. That's a real win there for the Castleford Tigers.
Messy again. Communication just not there on last play. The ball goes to ground, and then it's a desperate kick from Ollie Russell that gives Castleford the ball back on the 50 metres. Again, another gift. Huddersfield are going to struggle to keep this Castleford side out if they keep having to defend set after set. They need to start working on their end of sets and finishing where they want to, and pinning Cass back down near their own try line.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? They're just coughing the ball up cheaply, and Castleford are not even having to work hard to get inside the Giants' territory. Here's Lawler off the bench. Big carry from him. 10 out from the line. Castleford poised to strike, leading by 6. Hood finds Dejan Arzi. Ball carried into contact. There are plenty of Giants players around, and they'll turn it away on the 5th. They're going short side. Oh, high shot goes in there. Didn't miss either. And credit there, Christian Mapapalangi. He's got straight up from that one. He got cleaned out by the Giants. I think it was over on that far side. I think it was Tane Milne who's gone high there. He didn't miss, did he?
He did not miss there, Mark. That was desperation, it feels, at the end of the set there to just try and make the tackle. He got that one all wrong, timed it so that he tried to make contact, take the time away, possibly got done on his inside, and he gets that one wrong there, Mark. Not good from Tane Milne.
No, not good at all. Well, fair play to Mapapalangi. He's got straight up from that. He could have made a meal of that, stayed on the ground. He's got straight up, and hopefully he'll be fit to carry on. Tane Milne had his disciplinary problems last year. Well, that was the last tackle. Now, is there going to be any further action here? They're having a look at this, and it is going to be just a penalty.
Yeah, fine. Tane, you need to be very careful. It's just
not a major contact as our video referee tonight, and it is a penalty only.
Don't be going early on the score line.
A bit of a reprieve, but for Castleford, well, they could take a shot on goal, or they can have another 6 at the Giants' line. That hasn't gone down well here. They thought there was a card coming, but the referee and our video referee thought differently. Here now goes Lawler. More pressure. You feel if Castleford can get that second try, Huddersfield could be in big trouble here. Ball just to the left of centre. Now they come to Dejanazi, drops it back for Westerman. Another set of 6. They've got numbers to the left here, and they've got plenty of them. Castleford. Stimson tries to run it in himself. He's tackled 5 out from the line. Hood finds Dejanazi into the line. Tried to use the decoy run there, but the tackle was made. And now another chance for Hood. Pops it up. They're going for the route 1 play. They don't get over. Again, Castleford have numbers either side of the ruck. It's another 6 again. All mounting here. The pressure incessant on this Huddersfield line. Huddersfield need Castleford to drop it here or something just to get the ball back, because at the moment they can't lay hands on it. Here now is Lawler. Lawler carries another good strong leg drive. Takes 3 Giants to put him to the ground. Opening quarter, it's been dominant from Castleford. Ball now works its way to Dejanazi. Here's Tom Weaver out wide here. Chance. And the McIntosh skips away from one, and he's in. He will score against his former club. Darnell McIntosh was too big and too strong. Castleford finally get their second try, and they lead by 10 points to 0.
Yeah, it all came from that penalty mark, and Castleford's ball movement is forcing the errors and the ill discipline from Huddersfield. Tane Milne had no choice but to fly out and got the timing wrong. Just a penalty, and Castleford backed themselves that they could put points on the board. They didn't go for the 2, they've gone for the try, and proved to be the right decision. They're moving them left to right. McIntosh just too strong there. Manages to brush off one defender, beat 2-3, duck under for a great try for this Castleford side. They look strong, Matt. They look in control, they look confident, and they're playing with confidence, and Huddersfield are just giving up too much ball to this side.
Yeah, nicely work for McIntosh. His first Super League try. And there's Ryan Carr. And after a couple of disappointing weeks, will be pleased with the way that his side have started here. And even happier if Tom Weaver can knock this one over. What a great opening quarter it has been for Castleford. 70% chance of kicking this one. Weaver has been pretty good off the kicking tee. Did hit the post last week in Toulouse. Well, that one. Oh, he's done it again. He's hit the post again. 10 points to 0, but all in all, pretty confident start for Darnell McIntosh and the Tigers.
Yeah, again, great set-up play by George Lawler. He's been a handful for the Huddersfield defence. Lays him a great platform, ties in the defenders, which just gives the opportunity on that right edge for McIntosh. Throws the dummy, brushes off one defender, dives under 2, and great start for Castleford. They're looking strong defensively and confident with ball in hand, and could be a long night for Huddersfield if they don't tighten up the discipline, tighten up the defence.
Yeah, certainly are going to have to do that. Just need hands on the ball, don't they, at the moment. Westerman underneath that Giants tackle. Here now goes Stimson again. He's had a big start for the Castleford forward pack. Westerman There's Lane, crashes into contact, wrapped up just shy of the halfway line. All Castleford at the moment, and the stats dominant in favour of the Tigers, and there could be more trouble here. Mapapalangi cutting in off the touchline. He's taken down 62% possession and well over 100 metres more now. And look at that tackle stat. Huddersfield, Jody, just having to do too many tackles, although that kick will help them. It's a cheap out for the Giants.
Yeah, it is. Just a little bit of an opportunity to take a breath for Huddersfield, and that completion rate is one of the biggest as well, Mark. Every team tries to work at above 80%. That's a decent completion rate for any side. Obviously, Castleford above that at the 86% mark, but Huddersfield's struggling below 60. That's one of the things they need to improve. They improve the completion rate, they'll get that possession percentage up, and they'll get themselves back into this game. But need to make sure they finish sets on their terms, get to the end of set, get a good kick away, and try and pin Castleford and make them work out of their half, but not to be.
Not to be. Another drop ball. This time O'Donnell, not his first mistake of the night either. Well, Huddersfield at the moment, their own worst enemies. What they did last week at Wakefield, they're doing again here. You cannot keep having to chase games. Here's Gary looking for some metres off the touchline. Cas crowd wanted a penalty, they don't get one for a high shot. Here now, the ball rumbled forward. The Cas bench starting to have a big impact here. Huddersfield backpedaling. Ball now into the hands of Dejanazi. He's got Lawler with him. Lawler runs it in, 5 out from the line. Huddersfield a creaking set, restart again. Too much from Flanagan. Here's Dejanazi, gets it away to Stimson.
Match it out! Line, hold.
It feels a matter of when, not if, Castleford are going to score here. Ball into the hands of Weaver. Finds Arzi, gets it wide. Mapapalangi has it, has to cut back, but he skips past one too easy. And he's into Conte, he's gone through again! Wow, Huddersfield's defence falling off tackles here. And now a penalty, and I think someone's going in the bin. He's going from bad to worse. Tane Mills in the bin. And here comes the card. It's a yellow one, and it's 10 minutes and a sit-down. Huddersfield are imploding here.
Yeah. Not what Huddersfield need at all. They're struggling with a full complement of players. To go one down is going to make that task even harder. It's going to take more out of the tank for the remaining 12 players on the field. They're just struggling to control this Castleford side. They're landing on the front. Huddersfield falling off tackles. Just a real dominant performance from Castleford so far.
Yeah, this is one-way traffic at the moment. Castleford rumbling forward again in front of the posts. Well, they were struggling with 13 on the field, Huddersfield. What can they do down to 12? Hood fires a pass to Weaver. They've got numbers out wide. That's a good tackle. Had to be as well from Huddersfield, who are on the ropes and hanging on here big time. Ball centre field. Here's Weaver. Weaver drops it back on the angle. Lane almost through. Well, the sliding defence holds firm for Huddersfield. Hood gets it away. They'll go in. Third try. Lawler, who's run it in with some real intent off the bench. That's his second Super League try this season. And Huddersfield at the moment look at absolute shambles. They trail by 14 points to 0.
George Lawler deserves that. I think his carries throughout this game so far, the first 20-25 minutes, has been outstanding. Finding his front, players struggling to contain his carries time after time, and he gets his just rewards for another hard carry there, and it comes off the back of the sin bin. Slowing play the ball down, too many of them. Tane Mills goes into the bin, making the job even harder. It widens the gaps in the defensive line, Mark, makes it even more difficult to defend plays. George Flanagan struggling there, not where he wants to be, with a big player running at him, and it's another good try by Castleford, who are being patient with this. They're not trying to throw the ball around, forcing errors. They're having a tough, strong, high completion rate and just backing the middles to do their job, and points are coming off the back of it.
Yeah, this should be routine.
Shot clock off.
Tom Weaver for 16 points to 0. Well, we saw an absolute demolition job last night from the Wigan Warriors. Castleford, they're looking forward to putting their own demolition job on. George Lawler's second of the season. and it is 16 points to 0.
And then we've had a couple of marginal
Yeah, we just see there George Flanagan, fullback. When you have a fullback on the line, they don't really want to get involved in any of the tackles. They want to be freed up to cover any kicks that come across the back. He's forced to engage there and get in the line because of the gaps that are opening up with him being one down, and George Lawler spots that. Liam Hood delivers the perfect pass, and it was another try on the board for Castleford, who've had a perfect start to this game.
Here come Cass again. At the moment, they look like they can score from anywhere. It is an absolute demolition job. Loads more games starting tomorrow. Warrington Wakefield 5:25. Catalan Saints 5:55. And then we're going to Vegas. Super League live from Las Vegas. Hull Kingston Rovers against Leeds. All the build-up from 11. Sky Sports Plus. And we round off round 3. We're at Odsal as Bradford take on Toulouse at 2:55 on Sky Sports Plus. And every Monday, the Bench Podcast. Former Bradford star Paul Deakin, now assistant coach at Wigan, is our guest. Here goes McIntosh, gets it away. Lane going through. Lane still going through. Still going. He's going to score, is he? No. Denied. Last tackle. And this getting very worrying now. Here's Sini, needs to find a pass, gets it away to Weaver. Weaver gets it away to Dejan Arce. Kick was charged down by Lollahay. Will he get a bounce? He does. Lollahay's got support. He's outside. He didn't see it. He had a man racing down the touchline, and Huddersfield there in the blink of an eye could have, maybe should have scored. Desperate defence from Lollahay there.
Yeah, that was a good reprieve there by Huddersfield too. Lollahay just getting a foot to it, getting it right this time, collecting it cleanly. And if he'd have just looked to his right there, Mark, I think it was Halsall who was flying down the wing. That is exactly what you want, a winger, one of the fast men in support to finish off opportunities like that. But that's a good 50-60 metre turnaround for Huddersfield to give him some good field position now.
Here's Gagai going to roll it in behind. He's looking for Zena, and the ball scooped dead in the touch. And I think the question, I think Ryan Kay might have heard him there. Why does Daniel McIntosh just dive on that ball?
Yeah, crazy decision there from McIntosh to just knock it out, which gives possession back to Huddersfield. They'll have another set now, but we see there Tumi Lollahay just getting his foot to that kick. They look to be struggling. He manages to pick it up clean. He can't quite find the support that he needs on that occasion, but now a great opportunity for Huddersfield.
Yeah, well, a few minutes ago they were stood under their own post, having conceded 3 tries. Are they about to get one back of their own here? They're going to Burgess. It would put such a different context on this game, wouldn't it, if Huddersfield did score next? Ball now is working its way to Russell, gets it to Flanagan, little step, can't turn away from the tackle, and he's put to ground inside the 10.
Goal free.
And here now goes Russell, turns it back, taken in by Billington. Strong contact there inside the Castleford 10. And an opportunity now as Kieran Rush gets the ball away to Russell, digs into the line, finds Lollahay, puts the step on, looking for runners, fires it back across to Billington. Billington with a little dummy, couldn't get it away to Gagai, who was waiting on his shoulder. Last one here, no 6 again. Rush dribbles a kick in goal. No, he doesn't. He's picked up on the line. An absolute frustration. Look at Ollie Russell. He's going ballistic with his dummy half there. He wanted that ball and he didn't get it.
Yeah, frustration there showing for Huddersfield, but much better set by them. And I think credit to George Flanagan for his defensive efforts. Prior to that, on the try line, it looked like Jordan Lane was about to score, and defence, then a force upfield, but they've now again discipline not quite there, and they've given another penalty away to Castleford, and this is what's going to be their downfall. They've proven they can move the ball around and test Castleford when they get it, but discipline just not quite there.
Oh, George King didn't get out of the way, did he? And now Castleford invited back, and let's be fair, they had numbers on that kick through earlier on. They should have scored. Luke Robinson's writing in his note, but he might need a new pen. Here's Weaver, juggle from Lawler. Lawler's running with some big intent, hasn't he, since he came off the bench.
Really impressive, Mark.
All 20 away. Hood finds Dejan Arce. There's a run off the bench from Ashworth, the former Giant, former Hull player, has been kicking his heels on the sideline after that ban ended his season last year at Hull. Poor pass, but it bounces kindly for McIntosh. Gagai went out racing there, and he got a bounce to the ball. He might have been going the other way, but he didn't, and Castleford still have it. And they've still got tackles in hand. Remember, Huddersfield still down to 12 at the moment. Can they hang on here? Another big test. Last one.
Goal 5.
Hood, short pass, Ashworth's in. He's over the line, but he's lost it. Wow, what a reprieve for the Giants. Ashworth thinks he's scored. Flanagan's going the other way, but he can't because the referee wasn't back in place.
Yeah, he was looking for that quick tap there, wasn't he? And if he'd got it, he's got some pace, George. Flanagan, I wouldn't back against him. Another opportunity, route one that Castleford seemed to keep going down with the big middles, just crashing over. On that occasion, Ashworth just couldn't quite keep hold of the ball, and Huddersfield, desperate defence.
Time off, got a challenge here, Chris. Yeah.
Now we're getting a stop here. I think there's a challenge here
2 seconds to it.
from Castleford. So a challenge on the decision of a ball steal.
Got a captain's challenge with Castleford. Castleford are challenging the ruling of a ball steal. George, got to be a hell of a lot better, mate. Hell of a lot better.
Okay, we have a captain's challenge. Castleford is challenging the decision of a ball steal. So there's more than one player in the tackle. So we're now looking, how does the ball come out? Okay, camera 5 isn't going to show me much. Camera 9. You can see there are hands on the ball. Liam Hunt has his hand on the ball. It's hard to tell on that if there is a ripping action. The only other camera angle that I'm going to get a view of the ball is going to be camera 1. And again, I'm blocked on that. Okay, due to the angles available, I have insufficient evidence to overturn the live call. So it is going to be a challenge inconclusive, but Castleford will retain their right to challenge.
It's inconclusive. You keep your challenge, but
there we go. So Chris Kendall couldn't find an angle to back up the on-field call or overturn the on-field call. So Castleford retain their challenge. But for Huddersfield, this is a much-needed penalty.
Yeah, I think I'd feel a little bit hard done to there if I was Liam Hood. I think he's just affecting the tackle. He has to cover the ball to stop any offloads, and I think it's just in the momentum of the tackle going to ground that ball comes loose. We mentioned the conditions early on, and that probably played a little bit of a factor in that one there. So a let-off for Huddersfield and an opportunity now to post some points on the board.
Yeah, well, we're again having issues with the clock, so we'll try and keep you up to date with that one as Huddersfield looking for some points at the end of the first half. 16 points to 0. They trail. Here's Russell. Short pass gets it to Billington. Billington will carry it forward here. 12 out from the line. Rush gets it away. Finds Russell. Russell into the line. Short pass. Was looking to try and power one of his forwards over the Castleford defence. Burgess it was. Paul now here. That's a nice pass to King. Good tackle. Had to be. Jordan Lane around the bootlaces. Last one. There's a Huddersfield player down. It's a hit off the ball here. And I think, is it Matty English, I think, who stayed down there. The referee has come back for a penalty on the 5th tackle. So Huddersfield now just starting to get 1 or 2 calls going their way.
Yeah, important one for them there. Another repeat set, an opportunity to go at the Castleford line. Just a bit of a late hit, and the referees are all over that now to protect the ball carrier and don't have the opportunity to brace once the ball's gone. So penalty there against Castleford gives great field position for Huddersfield. Yeah,
Matty English, who tonight is making his 150th Giants appearance. Now he's going to have to go off head injury assessment here.
That was my opinion.
Going to have 4 games on loan with the Tigers last year, Matty English, but his stint
that was my view.
He's ended.
Yeah, fine.
They are having a look at this one, but I think Chris Kendall has said there's no contact with the head, so it will just be a penalty.
Yeah. Who are those? Yeah.
So it is a penalty.
I'm just going to speak to him. Hold this line. And, just be careful, boys.
Huddersfield get another set of 6 here. Counting down final few minutes of the second half. There was the hit again. Here come the Giants then. Loading up numbers. Russell, short pass to Flanagan. Fires it wide. Zenon can't get in. Ravalawa says, no, not on my watch. Big man on, little man on the wing. There was only one outcome there.
Great defensive effort there. It looked to be the first real opportunity, real sniff at the line for Huddersfield there. Moved the ball around well. George Flanagan finding that pass to his winger, but brilliant sliding defence by Castleford, and Ravalawa not having that one. Brilliant cover tackle.
Yeah, he's got good contact, didn't he, on the ball and on the man. Stops Zenon getting it out and trying to reach for the line. Turnover 10 out then.
Kieran off the ball. Hold.
So Castleford
go one.
Will work it off their own end. That's a good determined carry.
George, roll away. Hold this line. Wait.
We're in the closing stages here.
Go two.
They are back up to 13 on 13 now. This is better from the Giants.
Move. Third hold. Hold.
Showing the kind of aggression that they needed early in the game.
Yeah, great by Gagai there. Just gets underneath the ball.
Hold.
Players in, drive the ball carrier back. This is the kind of defensive attitude that we want to see from Huddersfield.
Yeah, kick is caught on the full by Flanagan. He's already up and over the 40. Trying to get towards halfway on tackle one. And he's going to be put to ground a metre short of the halfway line. Now forward come the visitors. That's a nice run there from Zenon.
Go two.
Ball now working its way up the middle of the field. They're trying to make
release back.
Fire with fire. We believe there's around about 5 minutes left in the first half.
Tackle three. Go back.
Work on that clock
issue.
In,
George. Go first.
Control at the moment. Ball now here in the hands of Lolohea. Turns it back to Tane Mills. When a spell on the sideline in the sin bin.
Hold. He's trapped. He's trapped. Stand up. He's trapped.
Sought to get to his feet there, but Huddersfield.
Away now. Hold. Hold.
Bit of a waste of a tackle there. Didn't really go anywhere. Last one. Here now is Russell. He's going to send it back down the far side. Sam Halsall looking to compete. Ball's batted back. Collected here by the Giants. Need to find a play at the end of the set. Now they're looking to move it with Flanagan. Flanagan looking to get it wide. Rolls the kick in behind. He was looking there. Was there a tackle off the ball? I think there was. There was certainly a bang in the back of Tanguy Zenon. And all of a sudden, Huddersfield are getting a good look at the Castleford line, but they've yet to break them down.
Yeah, momentum seemed to have shifted the last 10-15 minutes. Possibly that sin bin woke up this Huddersfield side, and now they're the ones who are challenging and really moving Castleford around. Not sure that penalty was needed. Bit of desperation there, maybe a bit of a poor call, but now great opportunity.
Here's King. Well, a try for Huddersfield turns around the team talk at half-time. Because Ryan Carr's Castleford were dominant early on. Here now is a chance for Billington. Tried to reach out. He's never scored a try in his professional career. He gets a set restart. Flanagan gets it away to Russell. Russell drops it back for Fendon Rogers. Finds a nice offload to Flanagan. Flanagan just drops it back for King. Huddersfield are asking the questions. Have Castleford got the answers before the break? Russell gets it. Numbers outside. Going to be a try. Gagai is in. And it's a lifeline for the Huddersfield Giants, who make that pressure tell just before half-time. They got a string of penalties, and Huddersfield finally execute. They're back in the game. Castleford 16, Huddersfield 4.
What an important 4-pointer that is for Huddersfield. It gets them right back in this game, and they've converted the pressure that they've had over the last 10-15 minutes into points, which is the most important thing. It changes everything about the way they'll go in to the sheds at half-time, and it's much better ball movement. We see that long miss-out pass from Ollie Russell to Jacob Gagai, which just deceives the Castleford defence. Ravalawa on that occasion not able to get enough contact, and it's a great 4-pointer there from Gagai, and exactly what Huddersfield need. It seemed to be a shift in the attitude from Huddersfield, a lot more intensity in the way that they're running, and a lot more communication. It seems to be much more organised in attack, and brilliant try there from Gagai.
Yeah, Right, can Flanagan add the extras? It's a tough old kick to start his night. This would be a welcome to... No, just past. Just past. The kick is missed. 16 points to 4. However, they're back within 2 scores after what was a torrid opening half an hour. Gagai's try has just given Huddersfield a bit of belief.
Yeah, we saw in the build-up to that one a couple of 6 agains, a couple of repeat sets, penalty.
We've got a minute and a half.
And then Huddersfield managed to convert that into points just before half-time now. All the momentum with Huddersfield, probably not really wanting half-time to come now. They're managing to get a little bit of a roll on this Castleford side. Castleford probably wanting half-time to just have a little bit of a reset. They started the game really well, but just struggling to control Huddersfield for the last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, well, there might not be enough time for Huddersfield to go back-to-back, but they're going to end the half with a little bit of ascendancy here. And you mentioned that big forward pack that they, sorry, the big bench that they had, and Burgess and King have certainly come off the bench and had an impact. Here they go with Billington. Billington goes to ground. There might be time for Huddersfield. There might be time. Set restart. Here now is King, gets it back for Burgess. Burgess going through the middle. Need a quick play of the ball here. Castleford to do everything they can to slow it down. And they await the siren here.
Go on.
And issues with the clock. We're not quite sure how long's left. Huddersfield continue to play. Maybe there is time as they now go inside the 10.
Hold.
They'll play it now, 10 out. Huddersfield knocking on the door, looking to go back-to-back. Big dummy! Maybe needed to go to the big man close in, and they've knocked it on. Lola Hayes' error knocks it on at the line, and just as it looked like Castleford were going to be undone again, Lola Hayes spills the ball. Frustration for Huddersfield at the end of the half that, to be quite frank, they were outplayed in for much of it. Hood pounced close in to put Castleford in front. Then Darnell McIntosh scored against his former club at 10-0. Tane Milne was sent to the sin bin, and in his absence, George Lawler crashed over to score. Jacob Gagai give Huddersfield on Saturday night, Sunday morning. Tonight, we're here at the One More, where Castleford are chasing down their first win of the season. They lead by 16 points to 4. Jody Cunningham, are they going to hang on, or can Huddersfield make a game of this?
Just seeing Huddersfield come out of the tunnel there, they just seem to have a spring in the step. The way they finished that first half, completely different to how they started the first 20, 25 minutes. And I think a lot of credit has to go to their bench, and the middles that came off and made such an impact just started to carry in strong, find the front, get quick play of the balls, earn the right to play and get into the Castleford try area. And it proved to be invaluable to the way they've gone in at half-time. So more of that is going to be wanted by Luke Robinson. But poor start there, not what Castleford will want. Straight out on the full, which gives Huddersfield possession there on the halfway. Absolute nightmare start for Castleford.
Yeah. Ryan Carr will be furious. Kick for touch. It's about 10 metres downfield, but a perfect start for the Giants, who ended the first half in the ascendancy. Can they turn this one around? Oh, lost the ball, but that's another penalty. What a disastrous start. Kicked out on the full and then conceded a penalty on the first tackle.
Yeah, questioned Huddersfield's discipline in the first half. Castleford seem to be copying suit now and just giving up too much opportunity to Huddersfield and cheap possession.
Yeah, they're going to challenge this, Castleford, and this you feel already is an important challenge. Let's find out.
I believe it's been lost by Huddersfield. George, he's vice-captain.
Okay, we have a captain's challenge. Castleford are challenging the decision of a ball steal. Okay, we're trying to see that hands on the ball. That camera angle's not great. We'll explore the other ones. Again, I can't see the ball on that. I'm just looking at my screen. Number 5, possibly. Okay. I can't see the Castleford defenders' hands or arms at all times, and I also can't see the ball. I have a poor view of the ball. So it's going to be insufficient evidence. It's going to be challenge inconclusive, and Castleford are going to retain their right to challenge.
George, challenge inconclusive.
Well, for the second time tonight, Castleford,
going to be penalty. You still keep
inconclusive challenge, and you can't be fair to the video referee there. There were too many amber shirts in the frame, weren't there?
Yeah. You would feel hard done to, though, if you're Castleford there. It's 2, both for ball steals. Both, I think, probably not ball steals. It looks like it might have been Gary's head that actually dislodged the ball on that occasion. But as you say, Mark, too many bodies in the picture, too difficult for the video ref to overturn, and Huddersfield won't be complaining. They'll be loving the opportunity to go at this.
Oh, that's a big tackle going in there. You wouldn't have wanted to be on the end of that one, Jody Cunningham. Jack Ashford it was. Here goes Burgess, though. He's well met as well. This has been good aggressive defence from Castleford. What can the Giants do here? 6 again will help. And the pressure is mounting here. Giants looking for a try either side of half-time. And this really would change things here. There's a Castleford player down, so they're down to 12 here at the moment. But Castleford's aggression is good.
Time off. Tackle 3.
We're going to stop play here. There's an injury to a Castleford player.
Yeah, Liam Hudmark, and I think it was a great defensive effort. Possibly just got his head in the wrong place there, but trying to force errors, this Castleford defence, getting off the line, putting in big contacts, and Liam Hood just come off on the wrong side of that one. It'll be a huge loss if he has to leave the field for Castleford.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, his head took the first impact, didn't it? And he's down. They won't want to lose him. It's been a torrid start for both of these two injury-wise, and there's just a little bit of worry around the eye area. Fingers crossed he's all right. He's a tough player, isn't he? But bang on the head.
He is a very tough player and not shy of a few of those knocks. Looks like possible broken nose for his troubles as well. My fair share of them as well, Mark. It's a tough old game that we're playing, but Liam Hood, a tough old player, and hopefully he can carry on for Castleford.
We don't want to escalate to where
he seems to have a problem with his eye. Now, I don't know if Liam Hood wears contacts or anything like that. I just wonder if it might be something like that, but he's rubbing his eye quite a lot. It's a sore one, isn't it? It's like he can't really open his eyes. It's hard to see, isn't it? Is it a poke in the eye, do we think? Poke in the eye, maybe for a bit of friendly fire?
Possibly. It was great contact, though. Brilliant tackle there on George Burgess, who's no small man himself. He does brilliant, bends his back. He does a really great job of getting in low on players, stopping their momentum dead and picking them up, putting them on the back, and just came off a little bit on the worst side on that occasion, but hopefully he'll be returning to the field.
Well, Ashton Golding came onto the field, but he's been told to leave the field. It's a green card, so they can't make the substitution, so they're down to 12 here. So an injury, went out of possession, and now Huddersfield, well, if they score here, it's game on for sure. But can they get over the line? Here's Lollahea. No, they can't. And that is the third error of the night from O'Donnell. 3 drops he's had. I'm not saying it was the best pass, but he's got to be better than that.
Yeah, disappointing for Huddersfield. That is a brilliant opportunity, as you say, Mark. Castleford a player down, and it's a pressure take, that one. Wasn't going to be thanking Lollahea for that one. Castleford defensive line flying up at him, and not a great day at the office so far.
No, certainly not. Look, disastrous start for Castleford, kicking out on the full, then conceding the penalty. However, they've defended their line really well, and Raikkow will be pleased. We saw a lot of that against Wigan in round 1. Here is Ashton Golding, and he's making a break against his former club on his Castleford Tigers debut. He's wrestled to the ground.
George, good now.
great signing, Ashton Golden, as well. The versatility that he provides. We've seen him jump in and the hooker role now. With Liam Hood leaving the field, he's more than versed at the fullback role. I can see him playing a lot in the park at loose forward for this Castleford side as well. So a great signing for them early in the season.
Here's my Papa Lange. Normally does make the first player miss. He's got lovely feet. Papa Lange, and Castleford already over halfway here. Oh, that wasn't a good pass. Sazi did well to take that in. He finds Lawler. Lawler's wrapped up. Last one. Ashton Golding will get it away to Dejan Arzi. He's going to float the kick. That was like a bit of a miscue, that, wasn't it? Thought he was going to put a bomb in and then just basically passed it to Sam Halsall.
Yeah, Halsall will be thankful for that one. Probably one of the easier takes that he'll have in his career, but a bit of a missed kick means that Castleford don't finish on their own terms at the end of that set and give Huddersfield a good starting point for this set.
Yeah, all carried forward by Huddersfield. Hood, McIntosh and Lawler with the first half scores for the Tigers. Here is Matty English back into the action after he went off for a head injury in the first half. Ball now here to Lolohea. Short pass finds Flanagan. That was a forward pass. And it's another unforced Huddersfield error, and they still continue to make them in the second half. And Luke Robinson will be furious.
Yeah, their own worst enemy at the minute. Forward pass there when they had numbers on this right edge to attack Castleford. Disappointing. They need to really try and fix up some of these unforced errors if they want to get anything out of this game. They're proving they can score points and create opportunities when they get down the other end. They're just not giving themselves the opportunity to get there so far.
No, they're not.
Heads in, fellas. 10
Leroy
seconds.
Cudjoe on the sideline as well. Game over on Sky Sports Plus tonight. Hull 10, York 10. So York making a good fist of it. Hull up against it on the end of that big defeat at Wigan last week. Big defeat for York at Leeds as well, but all in the melting pot over on Sky Sports Plus. Here now goes Ashton Golding, gets it away, and here now is Weaver, offloads the ball. Lane is tackled. Russell maybe had a second go there. Golding jumps out of dummy half, gets the ball away. Lane has another carry. 2 in 2. Falls to the ground. Couple left in the set here for the Tigers. Can they pounce? First real attacking opportunity. Ball going through the hands. Dejan Arzi gets it out the back to Sini. Was there a player taken off the ball? I think there was. Penalty coming here. A hit off the ball. And this is a chance, should they want it. They lead by 12, but are they going to run it or kick the goal?
Yeah. Just not timing that one right, hitting off the ball again. Sini, great opportunity on that left edge there. But now another set for this Castleford attack.
Yeah, here's Arzi finds Weaver. You get the feeling if Castleford score next, then really does put Huddersfield on the back foot. Ball taken in by Ashworth. Here's Ashton Golding. Gets it away now to Weaver. Weaver offers it back to Ravalawa. Ramps up the big man. He's wrapped up a couple of metres away. Castleford looking to add to their 3 first half scores. Ashton Golding 6 again. So Castleford get a new set. Ball with Lawler. Already got one tonight. Won't get another here as Burgess wrestles him to the ground in front of the Giants' posts. Ball now works its way to Dejan Arzi. Holds it up, gets it away. Papa Lange almost through the line. Scramble was good from the Giants.
Wait! Got him.
Sini gets it away. Finds Dejan Arzi. Straightens up. Short pass to Ashworth. Wrapped up again. Castleford continue to probe. Coming back to the left. Arzi had to wait for it. Will kick now. Rolling it through. Weaver's chasing. And he scores. Planned move for the Tigers. Tom Weaver on the end of it, right underneath the post. And the Castleford Tigers make the Giants pay once again. 20 points to 4.
Fantastic is the kick there by Dejan Arzi. Perfectly weighted. Rather than seeing that end over end little grubber kick, We see it rolling belly side of the ball, which just gives the attacking player in Tom Weaver there a great opportunity to dive on that ball for an important try for Castleford now, converting the time they've had at this end of the field into more points, making it a difficult ask now for Huddersfield. But look at the weight of that kick. Just gives all of the chances to Tom Weaver there, who gets on his bike and gets the ball down before anyone from Huddersfield can really see what's coming. Great Castleford try.
Yeah, and it all came about because Arzi got the pass and he had to wait for it. Almost he thought going back into the middle, but you could see Weaver called for the kick and he rolled it in, and now Weaver's got a chance to add 2 more points. Well, Huddersfield have had chances start of the second half and they haven't taken them, and Tom Weaver looking to add a 3rd successful goal to add to his opening Super League try for the Tigers. Well worked move, well finished by Weaver, and he surely strokes this over for an 18-point lead, and that's exactly what he does. Castleford lead by 22 points to 4.
Another look at this try now. Dejan Arsic calling for the ball, all stacked up to attack this left edge. Good movement off the ball, but it's a left foot step back inside. Well seen by Tom Weaver. Great vision there, just asking for the kick to be put through. Perfectly weighted, perfect technique. And an important try there for Castleford Tigers, under the sticks as well, to convert to 6 points.
Away now. Hold.
Castleford will be thinking one more score might do it. Huddersfield have just been their own worst enemies tonight.
Here we are,
Too many errors.
Goal 2.
And Castleford now buoyed by that, looking to work their way out of their own end.
Goal.
Stimson is back on. He'll get it forward again.
Almaty! Here, Kieran.
Well, I mentioned errors, and there have been far more of them for the Huddersfield Giants.
5 move now! Tani! Goal 5.
9-3, the error count at the moment. High kick and a tester at the back for Huddersfield. They're going to let this bounce, and it will just bounce straight into touch. No hand laid on it. Half an hour left. 18 points to lead. It's surely Castleford's to lose now.
It looks that way, Mark, after Huddersfield having a great start to this game with the ball going out on the full by Castleford on the kickoff. It seems that everything after that point has started to turn in Castleford's favour. And 22 points to 4 looks like a difficult ask for Huddersfield. They need to start playing the ball, having field position way much more further into Castleford's half, so that they can try and challenge and be a little bit more patient with the ball, not force the pass, not force errors. There's time in this game, they need to just be patient.
Yeah, well, they're making changes. Already used 6 of their 8 changes here, the Giants. That could be interesting late on. Here's a chance, they move it wide to Halsall. Gary gets his body in front and makes the tackle. 10 over the halfway line. Milne gets it away to Lollahea, finds the ever-willing Powell. He takes it forward. Last one for Huddersfield. If they can score next, then it's back in the melting pot. High kick, lacks a bit of depth. Castleford allow Huddersfield to collect it. Ball's knocked down. Was that touched by Castleford? They're running it down the short side. Flanagan's going to score! How did he get over from there? He ghosted his way through. The ball bandied back by the Giants, and Flanagan pounces once again. He's over for his 4th Super League try of the season, and the Giants are not done yet.
Soft defensively by Castleford there. George Flanagan just taking the opportunity as it came. Ball went to ground. He was first to it, and he was first to act, and Castleford defence just a little bit asleep there when that opportunity came. Kick goes up, and the ball's just batted back there. An offload, hands in, and it's George Flanagan who's quickest to move, and just poor defence on that right edge. McIntosh will be, if he had his time again, would want better contact there on George Flanagan, but really important try, and gets Huddersfield back in this one.
Well, you've pointed him out at the start as one to watch. And he is a talent, 21 years of age. It's not been confirmed yet. Luke Robinson will be hoping that this gets confirmed. It is now confirmed. He looks away in relief. His side will look down and out. And the kick, to be fair, didn't look a particularly good one, but it's a nice back, isn't it, from Zenon?
It is, yeah, and it's just that offload game, just Castleford not quite dealing with the ball and switching off a little bit. McIntosh, I think, thought that it was dealt with, had switched off, turned his back, and then couldn't quite get the contact he needed on George Flanagan, who was Johnny on the spot and now has the opportunity to convert it to 6.
Yeah, he does. Here comes the kick. This one, the similar angle first half. Strikes this one.
Well done, Denton.
And he's pulled it away, and it is missed. So 22 points to 8. It's still a 3-score lead, but Huddersfield, we felt, had to score next, and they have scored next.
Again, it's ball through the hands, and Ollie Russell with the kick. Tap back there, and a bit of a messy offload, but George Flanagan showing his pace. He's got support on the outside, and he takes the dummy, backs himself, and goes over for the try. Huddersfield now with the ball back and with a bit of an intensity to the running. Matty English back on the field. His carries have been strong so far this game and looking a lot more intent, post-contact meters, numbers in the tackles. This is what we want to see from Huddersfield.
Burgess there leaving both markers on the ground, and that allows Rush to jump out of dummy half, and all of a sudden Huddersfield are on a bit of a roll here. Already they're up to halfway with Tristan Powell. He drives it in. Huddersfield looking to fight back here, going through the hands. Lollahea finds Flanagan, gets it away to Tane Milne. Good legs tackle there, really good tackle from Dejan Arzi. Last one. Here's Ollie Russell, picks his spot, sends it high. Zaxini can feel Halsall coming after him, takes the ball and gets to ground quickly. Sini did well, but what a place to turn it over for Huddersfield.
Great kick from Ollie Russell. His kicking game is getting Huddersfield back into this and puts Castleford finishing in a bad spot there. Sini no choice but to just take the tackle, go to ground, with Castleford now got work to do to get out their own end.
Yeah, they certainly have. Here now is Ravalawa. He's been pretty well monitored tonight. They've not been able to bust him free. A big flying winger. Cass work it out of their own end here. Nowhere for Sini to go. He'll play the ball, leaves the Giants player down in the ruck. As the kick downfield is a deep one. It should be caught on the full by Flanagan, and is. And he's off on his bike over the 20. Good chase from the Castleford Tigers, but Flanagan starts just short of the 30-metre line. 25 left, plenty of time. This one not as over and done with as it might first have appeared.
Jordan off the ball. Back. Hold.
Giants. In the 6 again, referee's having none of it. Tells Zenon to get to his feet. Here again come the forward pack of the Giants, looking to bend this Castleford defensive line. Rush gets it away. Powell, another big carry. Look at this, the Giants have got Castleford rolling backwards here, and now they're looking to strike again. Here's Ollie Russell, turns it back on the angle, and that's Billington on the end of it. He's wrapped up and turned away. Last one, 20 out from the line. Ball will go to Lollahea. He's going to send it high. Again, it lacks a bit of depth. Ravalawa will come. He collects it. Great catch from the wingman. 10 off his own line.
Yeah, Castleford learning from the last time they didn't quite deal with the kick into that corner. Huddersfield go back to that edge and dealt with really well by Castleford on that occasion.
Yeah. Sini carries 25 off the line. Still time here. Nice run for Tony. He's wrapped up just short of the 40. Golding plays short to Weaver. Weaver fires the ball across the Huddersfield defence, and almost away there was McIntosh. He's reeled in on the touchline side. Weaver finds Dejan Arzi. Arzi sends... Oh, there's no depth on this kick at all. This could be going out one bounce. Oh, Gary's caught it. He will go to ground, and in the end they made a few more middies and it looked like they were going to do there. That wasn't a good end to the set for Castleford.
It wasn't, and full credit to the kick pressure there. Matty English working really hard from marker to put pressure on the kicker, and it forced an extra pass, and then kick not going anywhere near the distance they would have hoped, and gives Huddersfield a great chance here with the ball. Starting to take control of this game again, Huddersfield. The momentum has shifted a few times so far, Mark, but looks like Huddersfield in control at this point.
Yeah, good run from O'Donnell. Russell finds Flanagan, gets it away to Gagai. Gagai cutting back against the angle of play. He's up to the 40, just short of it. Well, if Huddersfield score next, we are definitely game on here. Ball now with Russell, finds Lollahea, finds Flanagan. Flanagan, lovely pass to Halsall. He had Milne on his outside, couldn't find him. Flanagan with a quick play of the ball. That's the cut back in. Still going, finds an offload. What a talent this kid is. Finds Lollahea. Lollahea puts the kick in. I'm not sure that was the play in the end. He was looking to try and get it behind Sini. Sini collects, and I think Huddersfield might want that one back.
Yeah, they look dangerous on this right edge there. Flanagan coming round and utilising Halsall, who couldn't quite get the pass away to Milne, who was in support on his outside. But again, Flanagan testing the Castleford defence.
Yeah, nice run at their own end from McIntosh and the Tigers. Here they go, pouring it on here. These are good carries from Castleford. All of a sudden have just got a bit of go forward themselves. All into the hands here. They're moving it across. Dejanazi looking for Sini. Finds Mapapalangi. He skips past one. Taken to ground on the last here for Castleford. Can they produce a good kick? Weaver is their go-to man. He sends it high. A tester on the line here. Well taken in the field of play. Castleford's chase is okay. They turn it over, 10 out from the Giants line.
Perfectly weighted kick that from Weaver, just dropping it half a metre off the try line, which just means that Huddersfield have to work out rather than that 7-tackle set that it would have been if he'd caught it in goal. So great kick, end of set by Castleford.
Mike Carr is apoplectic at our side, shouting out his instructions to his team. That's why he's got a voice left. Still, what, quarter of the game remaining? New coach looking to get his ideas, and a very good coach as well. Castleford have got. Russell's going for the 40-20. He's going for the 40-20. He needs a few more rolls out of it. He's not quite going to get the angle. Sini, he had a bit of a wobble there, didn't he? Collects it. That's a good set from Huddersfield. They've turned the field around.
Yeah, not quite the 40-20 that Ollie Russell was looking for, but a great kick nonetheless. And a great kick chase as well. 4 defenders there, all over Sini when he picked up that ball. Intent here from the Huddersfield defensive line as well, just getting off the line with intent, trying to ping Castleford in their own area. Yeah, they certainly are. Here forward now come Cass, up and over the 30. Big day tomorrow. Warrington Wakefield 5:25, followed by the Catalan Dragons against St Helens 5:55. Both those on Sky Sports Plus. And then tomorrow Super League hits Las Vegas. Now, was that a hair pull on Ashton Golding? Ashton Golding's still going. Huddersfield almost fell off the tackle. Well, that was controversial. Was it a hair pull on Ashton Golding or not? Well, in football, they'd have got a red card for that. We believe it was a hair pull, an inadvertent one possibly, but nevertheless, Jodie, that stopped him in his tracks. Yeah, it looked to me as if it was a bit of a hair pull here. Ashton Golding quick out a dummy half, and it's just that little tug at his hair that stopped him in his tracks. I've been impressed with Golding since he's come on the field. He's really stepped into that role that Liam Hood's left incredibly well, and that was a great chance for Castleford, and Huddersfield just about stopping him. Maybe not quite conventionally, but stopped him nonetheless. Yeah, they did. And now it is a chance here for the Giants up towards the halfway line. They're running out of time. They find an offload. Flanagan finds Lollahea, finds Burgess, crashes into contact, last one. Quick play of the ball. What can Huddersfield do here? Russell on the front foot, gonna send it high. It's a tester for Ravalawa. Gets off the ground, didn't get anywhere near it. It's play on, and Castleford fall on it. And it's that man, Ashton Golding, who comes up with the ball. There are bodies down everywhere on that far side. And the referee now has given a penalty for holding on to Ashton Golding for too long. The end of sets have been much better from Huddersfield in this half. Ollie Russell taking control of that kicking game again, just dropping it on Ravalawa's head. Yeah, they're going to challenge this. They're going to challenge this, Huddersfield, I believe. Let's find out.
Captain's challenge for Huddersfield. They're challenging a prior breach of an escort.
So they're asking for an escort here, Huddersfield.
Okay, we have a captain's challenge. Huddersfield are challenging the decision they're claiming that there's been a prior breach prior to the penalty being given. So we'll pause the ball on the foot. Everyone is onside, bar Kieran Rush. We'll run it through on this. Okay, Kieran Rush stays outside of the 10. So let's see what happens now. Is anyone escorted? It looks like everyone's just moving towards the ball. There's no escort, so let's see what happens now. We'll go in the tight version. Who touches this ball? Okay, is that touched by the Huddersfield or the Castleford player? Okay, as you can see there, that is not touched by Castleford. His arm is well clear of that ball. And if we then go on camera 5, you can see that the ball has already passed. So that's touched by Huddersfield. Is there any foul play? No, there isn't. That's just two players jumping for the ball. There's no foul play in the tackle. So we're going to let's have a look at this. Oh, okay, so on reviewing further angles, whilst it's not deliberate, there is contact with the head there, as you can see. He hits him flush in the face. So this is going to be challenge successful, but it's a penalty. And it's a penalty.
Wow, there we go. Now that was on the very last look, wasn't it? Because Ravalawa was cleared of knocking the ball on or any infringement, but as he swung his arm and knocked the ball away, Jody, he's hit the player in the face. It was inadvertent, but it is a shot to the head, and it's a penalty for Huddersfield. Yeah,
it was unlucky that. I'm not sure Ravalawa really knew what was going on in that situation. He's up, he's contesting for the kick, he's trying his best to get hold of it and then make sure he makes the tackle if he doesn't come up with the ball, and ended up with a stray arm catching the head, and penalty it is now for Huddersfield.
Yeah, and they are looking to try and get over the line. They're up to the line, but they couldn't get over it. Wow, fine margins here for the Giants. Can they come up with some points? Short pass, oh, what a tackle. Brilliant try-saving tackle. It was brilliant tackle from Lawler. And now a penalty conceded by Castleford, but they'll take that because if Lawler doesn't make that tackle, Huddersfield score.
Yeah, has to make that tackle. It looked for all money like Huddersfield were in again there. Lovely short ball. And it's just a brilliant legs tackle to cut the Huddersfield Jordan Lane down close to the line there.
Yeah, now the ball working its way across. Danger for Flanagan, gets it to Halsall, reaches out, short. Short, did he stay in? How did he stay in? Millimetres away. Lollahea. Talk about a game of fine margins. Here's Powell. Powell runs it in. He's tackled.
Homie, wait. Goal third.
Now the ball works its way to King. Probing the centre. If they get one here, they're back in it. If they get one here, they've got a chance. Can Castleford hold them out? Can Castleford keep defending their line? Short pass, another big shot goes in. Dejan Hazi this time. The tackle, and now the ball works its way across. Here's Lollahea, floats the kick. Should be gathered by, well, it's Castleford who pick it up, and Castleford, credit to them, survive. We saw in round one, their goal line defence against Wigan was good for long, long periods of the game, and they've just come up with another key passage there.
Desperation there by Castleford. I'm not quite sure how they managed to keep Huddersfield out, but great defensive efforts from George Lawler, particularly on that right edge in tackling Asher O'Donnell, and now they have the ball back and springing the step by Castleford, just trying to work the way out. Relief, I think, on the face of all the Castleford players for defending that one.
Yeah, credit to them. Here's Weaver, sends it high. Should be collected, is collected by Huddersfield. Just over 15 remaining here. This one is still up for grabs, but Castleford, if they can keep defending as they have done will be on their way to their first win. Huddersfield just left it too late last week against Wakefield. And the signs here are that maybe doing the same against Castleford. Here's King, gets the ball away, finds Rush. He gets it away to Russell. Short pass to Lollahea. Ashton Golding with another big tackle. He's been monumental since he came off the bench for the Castleford Tigers. Here's Russell again, taking on the line. Short pass. O'Donnell tackled on the last one. Russell lines up the kick. He's looking across the field. He's looking towards Halsall. Again, there's not the depth on it. Halsall drops it. Castleford collect it. And Papalangi will have it. And I think if there is a criticism of the kicking game, they've got some good high kicks, but they just haven't got the depth on them, have they?
Yeah, tricky one that for Huddersfield. Sam Halsall did his best, but Castleford coming up with that one. Again, just not like you say, Mark, just not quite the depth on the kick to really test Castleford and put them in trickier positions.
Look at that. Talk about tricky positions. Hull FC are in one. 17-10 behind. The York Knights looking for a second win. Here now, forward go through the middle. Big chance for Westerman. Support all around him. It's a Weaver double. And it's Castleford's first Super League win of the season. Their defence kept the Giants out, and then they strike at the other end. Lethal from the Tigers. Westerman delivers for Weaver, and Castleford are getting their first win.
What a line from Joe Westerman there. Just cuts through the Huddersfield defence like butter and delivers the perfect pass on the end of it. Tom Weaver, great support play, as all good half-backs do. But Castleford here, just a little short ball. Joe Westerman hitting that line, draws the fullback George Flanagan in and just finds his half-back Tom Weaver with the pass. Just patience, calmness, doesn't panic, does exactly what he needs to do there. A really well-worked try, all from the middles, that one. Joe Stimson just taking it to the line with a little pop pass for Westerman. And Tom Weaver finishes that one off for the Castleford Tigers.
Yeah, and he's going to add the extras here. Delight for Weaver, delight for the Tigers.
Yeah, fine, mate. Thank you.
And that is the game. And this for a 20-point lead.
Just stay switched on with Cass around the goal line. Time off, Chris.
Well, when you can defend your line for long periods, and we did mention that in round one, it keeps you in games. And Huddersfield have thrown plenty at the Castleford line, but they haven't been able to breach it. Just the 2 tries for them, and this was brilliant.
Yeah, and this is a try from the 50-metre mark, and it's just the forwards linking up together. Joe Stimson finding great short pass there. Westerman rolling back the years, breaking the line there. Knew he didn't quite have the legs, but did everything right in drawing in the fullback to find that pass.
This bounces in the field of play. It's picked up by Huddersfield. I think it's going to be a knock-on. It is a knock-on. And Huddersfield thought they'd broken away, but it wasn't to be.
We've got to try things like that now, Mark. Look, the game's pretty much got away from Huddersfield, and you mentioned that York scoreline. With the teams coming up, performing so well, we've seen from Toulouse, from York, Bradford, it puts even more pressure on the likes of Huddersfield, the likes of Castleford, who finished towards the bottom of the table last year. Just 2 points separated these two teams, only Salford below them in the table. It just adds even more pressure that these teams that are coming up are getting points early on in the season.
Well, you make a very valid point, because if Bradford beat Toulouse on Sunday, you know, and if, because Toulouse have won 2 from 2, but you could end up with all the 3 new teams on 4 points after 3 games, which would be a phenomenal start, and it would raise questions at Huddersfield, who would be without a win. Looking at their injury list, there's no sign. All those players out for a minimum 5 weeks. So they're without a lot of big players for a lot of weeks. Worrying time. Stimson again, I think he's been outstanding tonight for Castleford. Absolutely phenomenal. Here they go now with Weaver, looking to set something up on that right edge. Maybe get Ravalawa away. They can't do it on this occasion. But Castleford looking to put some late points on the board. What have they got here? Weaver into the line, finds Dejan Arce. Short pass, here's Mapapalangi. Mapapalangi put the kick in. Flanagan charged it down. That'll be another set of 6. Been interesting if he'd held on to that, George Flanagan. But even his talents couldn't keep that one in his grasp.
Yeah, Castleford really breaking down the Huddersfield right edge defence there.
It's a knock-on.
Mapapalangi there just coming out the back. Possibly, if he had his time again, maybe not put that kick through. Gave George Flanagan an opportunity there. Couldn't quite gather it, but did everything he had to do there to stop Castleford posting more points on the board.
Keep working hard.
Castleford again testing Huddersfield.
Yeah, they're lining up numbers to the right of the scrum here. They've got a 4-3 overload. Is it a trick play? I don't think it is. They're going to Weaver now. Ball over the top, looking for Ravalawa, but he's wrapped up, well wrapped up in the end. Good tackle from Gagai. Went to the big man, but he couldn't break through. Ball back to Weaver. Finds Westerman. Westerman ramps it up. Big night for the Tigers. Go to Leeds next weekend. Ball now here with Dejan Arce. Short pass. Huddersfield fell off the tackle there initially. There were plenty of claret shirts in the picture. They come in with Ashton Golding, finds Dejan Arce, gets it away to Ranulfo Tony. The big man fancies a tilt at the line. He's still going. Wolford eventually will make the tackle. Last one. Ashton Golding gets it away. Here's Dejan Arce now. Short pass looking for Westerman. They had numbers out the back, didn't they? But they'll turn it over right on the whitewash. Castleford won't care about that. The job's done now. 8 minutes remaining, separating Castleford and their first Super League win of the season.
How impressive have the middle has been for Castleford? Just really getting through tons of work, but testing the line and then coming up with big defensive plays like that, flying off the line. Ashton Golding again involved in that one. He's a big, tall body for a hooker, and he's definitely thrown his weight around in this game.
Yeah, and there's nowhere for the Giants to go. Ball's on the ground. Big roar goes round the jungle. It's a knock-on. You get the feeling there are more points coming for the Tigers in the final 8 minutes.
They're happy with that one in the coaching box, Mark. We can hear them here from our commentary position, but look at the players. Look at how they celebrate that defensive effort. Every single player in this Castleford side rushing over to congratulate the teammates and the work rate that they put in defensively.
Well, they're going to challenge in this. Huddersfield, who have retained their challenge.
Challenge.
Yeah, they've challenged.
Can we challenge it? No, I've said that before.
Can you challenge what? Challenge the challenge?
Okay, Huddersfield are challenging the decision of a knock-on. So you can see the tip of the ball that Russell in possession, but you can't then see any hands. Just looking at a preview screen, camera 8 maybe. Again, I can't see the ball. Camera 9. Okay, I have insufficient evidence. I can't see the ball or any hands. So it's going to be challenge inconclusive, and Huddersfield retain the right to challenge.
Inconclusive, you get to keep your challenge, okay?
Well, another inconclusive challenge, and again, I don't think Chris Kendall had any other choice than to go down that route. So Castleford will get the ball back, and they have it 50 now. And you get the feeling here the Tigers are in the mood for some more points.
Yeah, and they probably deserve that one for the intensity and the efforts in defence. Again, inconclusive, and probably the right call on that occasion.
Here's Dejan Arce. Arce now skipping across, will look to try and get the ball away. 12 out from the Giants line. The Giants out of juice. Here goes Ranulfo Tony, runs it in. Tackle made, but he still stands despite 3 Giants all over him. Can't put him to the ground. He'll play it now inside the 10. Arce short pass, thundering onto it was Westerman again. He's really got the bit between his teeth here. Can he get a try? Now they'll move it. Here's Weaver, they get another 6 again. Castleford knocking on the door. What have they got up their sleeve here? Ball back taken forward by Stimson. I was thinking, would they try a cheeky one-pointer, but I think they fancy more than that. The Tigers, they feel there's some more points left in it for them. Here's Ravalawa. He's turned away. They've looked after him pretty well. Ashton Golding has it now. He'll get it away to Westerman. Westerman laying the platform as he lost it. No, he hasn't. Golding going back. Big dummy trying to pinch one. Can he get one against his former club? He will! A debut try for Ashton Golding. Look what it means to him. Big, big smiles. Big, big celebrations at the Jungle. The icing on the cake. Two former Giants putting it on their former club. And Castleford extend their lead.
Ashton Golding it is. You know, we've mentioned his name a few times, Mark. He's been outstanding since he came on the field. I worried what impact losing Liam Wood might have on this side. But Ashton Golding has stepped into this Castleford team seamlessly and had to do a little bit more work than Liam Hood had to for his try. But that power, that vision, beats multiple defenders. Huddersfield again a little bit soft defensively on the line there, but brilliant try from Ashton Golding.
Yeah, he enjoyed that, didn't he? Always plays with a smile on his face, but that is a huge smile on the face of the Jamaican international. Left Huddersfield the end of last year, didn't find another club. He's only just joined the Tigers, but I'll tell you what, on this evidence tonight, looks like a good bit of business for the Tigers. Here's Weaver. He's been pretty good tonight. His only miss was when he hit the frame of the post.
Shot clock off.
And there we go. Another two on the tally for the Tigers.
Yeah, you mentioned, Mark, they've done a really good job dealing with Ravalawa on that right edge. But Castleford don't panic in attack. They come back to the middle, set up play, and then Ashton Golding fancies one himself on his debut for Castleford Tigers. Well earned for the work he's got through so far, and the pack in general for Castleford, starting pack. Those who've come off the bench have got through a hell of a lot of work in defence and attack. They've really contributed hugely to this pretty convincing win now tonight.
Yeah. Have Cass got any more points up their sleeve?
Chris, clear the rock. Here, Tristan, hold. Hold. Go two. That's you, Ash. You pushed him
Golding again.
Away now. Fight the floor. Hold. Hold. Clear the back. Go.
Jody to get a thinking cap on for our player of the match tonight as Tigers come forward again. Here's Zaxini, moves it wide, Mapapalangi. Mapapalangi gets it away to Gary. Ball back on the inside. Who's going to get there? Well, credit the forward, Tristan Powell. Somehow got his body in the way and survives. Well, Huddersfield survive again.
Brilliant attacking play there. Huddersfield doing well to defend that set. Mapapalangi has been dangerous on this left edge, creating all sorts, all sorts of trouble, and really keen to get his hands on the ball, and Huddersfield not giving up.
Well, was that a push? I think that was a push in the back. I think Ravalawa went to ground. I think there was a hand in his back there. Well, Huddersfield rolled the dice. Gagai not happy with the decision, but I think there might have been a hand in the back here.
Time off.
Yeah. Just a little nudge in the back from Gagai there. Ravalawa not taking too much to go down. He knows that a penalty's coming as soon as he feels that contact. Castleford with an opportunity to finish this game in their own right, possibly with more points on the board, looking dangerous all over the field. And I mentioned a few times, I think the forwards have to take credit for the platform they've set, but edges, particularly this left edge for Castleford, looking dangerous every time they get the ball.
Yeah, they are indeed. And Castleford looking for more points here. 34 points to 8. Last couple of minutes, maybe one more attacking set. Kick over the top. There was maybe a pullback there. Referee will have a look at that. No, it's the 7 tackle, 20-metre restart. So Castleford went for the kick. And it comes up dry this time.
0 to come. 0 away now.
Well, Huddersfield, where do they go from here? They've got a double header with Hull Kingston Rovers in the League and Cup next 2 weeks. Not getting any easier for them.
It doesn't get any easier. And look, Hull KR have had a really busy start to the season. They've got a huge weekend coming up in Vegas, so Huddersfield will be hoping there'll be a lot taken out of their tank over these few weeks so that they can get something out of the next 2 games in the Cup and the League.
Here's Flanagan, gets it away. Milne, sin binning in the first half, costly for the Giants. Is there a consolation for Huddersfield here? Lollahea finds Russell. Russell looking to get to an edge. On the ground. Flanagan nowhere to go. Just been too many of those miscommunications, misplaced passes, and too many unforced errors.
Yeah, very disjointed in attack, not quite clicking when they try and move the ball around. Too much ball to ground, something that they'll definitely look to work on. Injuries won't be helping, but the kicking game is something they possibly can take a little bit of credit from. I think the kicks on last play from Ollie Russell in that left-hand corner particularly have been decent with the kick chase as well, but just not quite getting there in terms of the passing game and not getting to last play enough in this game, Mark.
Yeah, that's been the problem. Valawa just hops away from the tackle. Gary's not had many running opportunities, but another solid display from him. And all in all, it's been a very pleasing Castleford performance. Their next few weeks, well, that's tough as well. They go to Leeds, they've got St Helens here in the Cup, then they're away at Warrington. So tough fixtures, but they'll go into it full of confidence, won't they, on the back of this one, as the countdown is on. Here at the One Ball, Castleford have got it done. Their first win of the campaign. Oh, they've switched off Huddersfield. Aston Golding fancy to run, and that'll do it. Another defeat for the Giants, but it's smiles for Aston Golding and the Castleford Tigers. The crowd here delighted with what they have seen. A really tough workmanlike performance, but the damage done in that first 25 minutes when Castleford led by 16 points to 0 on the back of tries from Hood, McIntosh and Lawler. And although Gagai and Flanagan got a couple of tries back either side of the break, Tom Weaver's double, and then Aston Golding signing off in style for the Tigers. A bit of pushing and shoving actually, bad play here. Darnell McIntosh and Fenton Rogers. Fenton not known for his discipline. We didn't see what led to it. We may get a replay, but Fenton is a fiery character, but certainly something happened there. And a bit of an unsavoury end. Huddersfield have got enough players missing, don't need to get involved in any funny business.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to